Hello, welcome back to the vlog, or if you're new here, welcome to the vlog. I'm glad you're here. We are doing a little March reset in the next couple days, and it is much needed. So some goal setting, some little chats, book chat, some cleaning, So grab your coffee, let's get into it. The first thing I want to share about are just a few goals I have for this month. I have two very simple goals. The first one I'm working on is waking up just about 10 to 15 minutes earlier than my norm. I am not a morning person, but I do feel like having a little bit of margin of peace before my kids get up, even if it's just 10 to 15 minutes, I think that will really set my days up for success. Right now, I actually get a lot of moments of quiet during the day. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have two kids. One goes to school 2 days a week, and so I really honestly get a fair amount of quiet time throughout the day. So I'm not looking for an hour-long quiet time before my kids get up. I just am ready to feel a little bit more prepared when they get up. The second goal is getting back into a simple fitness routine. Last year, I was really good at forming a habit of just walking or running 2 times a week, or sometimes even 3 times a week, 20 minutes a day, and I felt so much better that year. And then at the end of last year, beginning of this year, I really fell off that train. Like, I did not have the New Year's motivation to keep up with my fitness routine. And my goal is not about looking a certain way. It's really just about being able to play with my kids, carry in the groceries, pick up my kids, just building that practical strength. So I'm aiming for 3 35-minute workouts a week. So that's 20 minutes of a little bit of cardio, like walking, running, and then about 15 minutes of some practical strength exercises. Those are my 2 goals for the month, just waking up a little bit earlier and then building my fitness routine back again. Nothing extreme, just some small doable changes. If you have anything that you're working on this month, I would love it if you would leave it in the comment below so that we can cheer each other on. Let's make a little lunch. Honestly, one of my least favorite meals of the day to think through, because I don't want a meal plan for it, but I want something good and nutritious. It ends up mostly just being a hodgepodge. So here's what we've got. Let's do some chicken, a little bit of pepperoni, mayo, and Greek yogurt. Do a little planner chat. If you're anything like me, you love a good planner. I love a good planner. For several years, probably like a decade or more, I purchased all of the expensive planners. There's nothing better than the feel of an expensive planner. I mean, we have the tabs, the daily layouts, the feel of this paper. This is some thick paper, but today I thought I would share with you why I ditched those expensive planners and what I use now instead. I used to spend probably $60 or more every year on a nice planner. But when it came down to it, honestly, I am not running a busy company. I'm not having back-to-back meetings. I am at home with my two little ones. We have the same rhythm and routine every day. We wake up, play, meal times, schooling, dinner, bath time, bedtime. And so these nice, wonderful, expensive planners were making me feel overwhelmed or guilty for spending that much money on a planner. And then also, I just always kind of felt like I needed to fill more of my space because the space was there. So 2 years ago, I decided instead of buying an expensive planner that year, I got a notebook from Target, a plain $8 little notebook. And these notebooks last me maybe 3 to 4 months. I don't like writing on the back side. I only write on the front side, so I probably could get twice as much use, but I like having it flipped open on my counter, and so this is what works for me. And I'm still spending significantly less than when I bought the nice planners. Here is why this $8 notebook works better for me than a $60 planner. First of all, it's undated. So if I skip a day or a week or a month in my little notebook, it doesn't matter. I don't feel guilt of wasting money or anything like that because I just get to flip the page and it's a blank sheet of paper again. The next reason this works for me is that it's smaller and lighter. I can throw it in my bag if I need to, or I can stick it in the drawer. These are much, that thick, luxurious paper takes up some space. So I love that it's more portable, fits my life right now. The third reason it works for me right now is that it's customizable. I love the different layouts. I especially loved a daily 1 page for every day layout. But again, not necessary for my season of life. I don't really have things hour by hour right now. And so what I do is I have a to-do list, an hour by hour if I have something going on that day, like appointments, and then I jot down what's for dinner. If I need to write anything else down, I just put it right there. So very simple. Most days it's just a to-do list of what to do that day, and if we have an appointment, I'll jot it down there. So if you've ever felt stuck with an expensive planner, or it's just not working for you anymore, or you've seen them and they look amazing because they are, but don't want to commit to that, try an $8 notebook. Just might work and be less expensive. All right, so I'm going to finish up planning out my meals for the month and then get just this week in my notebook. Got Bella here with me on the couch. Kiddos are tucked in bed. Let's do a little book chat for the end of our day and the end of our March reset. So typically I average about 2 books a month. 1 book on my Kindle that I read before bed, and then a physical book that I read during the day. I really love reading, not just because it's enjoyable for me, but because I really think it's valuable to model it for my kids. That's why I try to have a physical book during the day, although they know that my Kindle is also a book and doesn't have any fun games on it. But in January and February, my 2 books just did not happen. The one book I managed to read was The Unwedding by Ali Condi, and honestly, I didn't love it. It was just long, but not in a good way. The suspense didn't really land for me, and it felt really preachy at times, like it wanted you to think something and it told you what to think instead of just letting the reader come to their own conclusion. I don't mind books with a message, but I don't love when they try to tell me how to think instead of letting the story just speak for itself. But I recently made a library run and I picked up Apples Never Fall by Leanne Moriarty, and I am already hooked. It has the perfect mix of family drama and mystery, and I'm just really loving it so far, and I'm hoping it will get me out of my reading slump. That is my little reading update. One disappointing book and one hopefully much better. I would love to know what you are reading. I love reading. Like I said, it's enjoyable. For me, it's kind of my hobby throughout the day. I feel like I can do it when my kids are awake. So if you have a good book recommendation, I would love to hear it. I love a good book. And that is where we will end our March reset vlog. I'm so glad that you guys are here. Thank you so much for watching, everyone who has watched and subscribed. Just really, I'm so glad that you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would love it if you would subscribe and stick around. I'll see you next week.